Hi guys, welcome to Topic Tuesday. We are here with Emily and she's going to tell us a little bit more about herself.
Hi guys. Good. Thank you for having me. I am originally from El Paso. I now live in LA. I've lived there for about 3 years, and I work in casting for film and TV. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty fun. No one day is ever the same. And I come home pretty often, so it's nice to always come back to El Paso and hang out and stuff. But
And how long, when you graduated from high school,
Yeah.
you just got up and left?
I actually went to UTEP. I graduated from UTEP with a communications degree. And my junior year of college, I wanted to get out. I wanted to experience new things. So I went and did the Disney College program. And I did that, loved California, and I stayed there. And I ended up moving back for a little bit, but I was still kind of itching. I just knew I wanted to be in California. So after about 1.5 years after moving back, I moved back, and I've been there for about 6 years now. Yeah.
And how was it like going into like that process of like growing?
It was pretty interesting. I, for so long was kind of not told what to do, but I was taking people's advice, and I wasn't really listening to what I wanted and what I saw my life turning out like. And it was about my mid-20s is when I finally thought, okay, I kind of did this like 20-year projection. I thought, okay, when I'm in my 40s, when I look back at my 20s, will I have done the experiences? Will I have tried new things? Will I have done all that? I just didn't want to regret anything. And so I went for it. Not that I didn't think about it. There was some planning involved, but I think that was a definite moment in my growth experience as far as, moving away from something that's very comfortable and going to a place where I didn't know a soul, I didn't know anybody, and just building a life from there. Looking back on it now, the growth, like, it's
Remarkable?
It's remarkable. Yeah, it's unreal. So.
And as you're getting into casting and stuff, how has your life changed?
Oh my God, a lot. It has opened up so many experiences that I never thought would be possible. It's just a whole other world. When you're anywhere, you're watching movies, you're watching film, TV, and you think of these people, and it's like they just seem like this anomaly, like they're not real, and when you start working with these people and realizing that they're just doing their job like any of us are, we're all going to work, and seeing how they work in their process of acting, it's really interesting. And I've gotten to do a lot of things I never thought I'd get to do. I went to the Emmys one year. Just traveling to new places, meeting new people. Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot.
What has been your funnest cast? Or casting?
Probably, we did a film that was actually nominated for an Oscar called Lady Bird. And it came out last year. And it was this small film. It wasn't like a big studio film. It wasn't, the budget wasn't huge, but the cast and the script was so good, and it was just so fun. And the director was actually an actress herself, Greta Gerwig, and it just was an all-around great project. So I think that was the funnest. We actually worked on a film that'll come out next year, directed by Olivia Wilde, called Booksmart, and it's a very young cast, a lot of people in their early to mid-20s. And that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to cast.
Yeah. And what when you got into casting?
Yeah.
What was it like hard to get into?
Yes. So Hollywood in general, the entertainment industry in general is very relationship based. So it's very much, you know, oh, I know somebody, I'll refer you to somebody. And when you don't know anybody, it was very hard. So what I did was, I knew I wanted to get into casting, which I heard was rare. People kind of just fall into it. They don't really know that's what they want to do. What I did was I signed up for there's like a group called the Casting Society of America, and you can sign up with them, and they send out like job emails and different things like that. And so I signed up for that. I was always checking my email. I looked up all the casting directors in Hollywood, got all their numbers, and just started calling and saying, do you guys need help? Do you guys need help? Most of the time it was no. And it was very tough for a while. It took about 3 years to actually get into it. And that was just through meeting people. And I had met a producer at my old job, and she referred me. And
was it a lot of patience within those 3 years?
A lot of patience, yeah, and a lot of trying times. Like when you don't see something happening right away, it can be very frustrating, and you think, well, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't going to work out. Maybe this is just like a pipe dream. But when you stick at it and you kind of just know in your gut it's what you're supposed to do, like, it'll happen.
And what kept you going within those 3 years?
I think being in the environment really helps. Like, I think living in California, even though I wasn't necessarily working in casting at the time, I think being there and being around it just kind of kept that motivation going. And also, you know, watching different things that had cool cast, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know I want to do this. So I think that's what kept me going.
Yeah. And did you have like a lot of odd jobs like within those 3 years, or are you still at Disney?
I mainly stayed with Disney. Right before I was at Disney, I was a teacher. And so I worked with kids, and yeah, I kind of stayed with Disney for the most part after I quit teaching, and that just kind of took up a lot of time. I was a VIP tour guide, and those days could be very long, and there was really no time to have another job. But I think Disney definitely prepared me just for social skills and dealing with all kinds of people, and
and I think that's kind of important to know, right? We were talking about that, the social skills and being like super shy in the beginning.
Right, being super shy, and like also reading people, I think, is a huge, just in any job, anything you do, reading the room and reading people is a big factor in it, because I think if you don't have that ability, or if you don't take the time to learn or to care how to read a room, it could definitely hinder things sometimes, you know, because people are very different and they respond to different things. And so, you know, if you act, you know, one way with one person and it's kind of crazy, and then you go into another environment and act the same way, you're not going to have the same result. And so, that's good. Important.
And that's good to do to tell like entrepreneurs.
Yes.
If you could tell an entrepreneur anything that's growing or following their dreams, I mean, because everybody is, you know, has different goals for themselves.
I would say keep at it. Obviously, like, don't get discouraged. Don't let anybody really tell you can't do it. I think that's a big thing. Is a lot of people like to tell people they can't do things, and of course you also have people who will uplift you, and you want to keep those people around. But I think not listening to those naysayers, and know, you know, that you can do it and that you do have that ability. And I would also say to remember where you start. Remember that small beginning, because one day, you know, when you are successful and you do have your own business going, there's going to be people that'll come up under you, and you're going to have patience and remember where you started. And I think that's like a big thing, is helping each other out.
How do you stay inspired?
I I think working with the people I do, I work with an amazing casting director and a casting associate, and I think learning from them and learning, I have my own process now of watching things and seeing things, but being open to learning from them and seeing what they look out for and how they go about looking at things, I think has definitely helped me when I'm, watching different new shows or new movies, like what to look for in new actors. And I think when I get excited about a new actor, it's, oh my gosh, it's the most exciting thing. And I think building from that, so you find things that you like about certain people and what they can do. I think that's what inspires me most.
Awesome. And we were talking on Saturday about how when you go into like different situations and you're meeting people and like you got to eat and have building friendships again.
Yeah.
How has that changed for you?
I think it has definitely changed. In some cases, people don't have the best intentions, and especially when you work in an area that people feel like they can gain something from, you have to be a little bit more careful and selective on knowing people's intentions when they want to, become friends with you or build a relationship with you. And
even being sweet and nice, right? Because we were saying that too. Like when somebody comes into a room, like everybody should still be treated the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
No matter what, no matter who you are, what, treat everybody the same and with the same kindness. And because you also don't know what people are going through. And I think that can be a huge thing. But yeah, I think it's definitely my job has opened my eyes to like new people. Obviously it's a whole big world out there. So yeah, I think seeing different personalities and meeting new people and learning about new cultures, I think was a huge thing. Yeah.
I like that because you travel everywhere.
And LA is definitely, you got everybody there. And not that it wasn't like that here in El Paso, but I think there was definitely some cultures I wasn't most familiar with, and so I think that's been a really cool aspect of, living in LA is meeting these people and learning about their different cultures. And
where has your job taken you to, like, outside of LA?
I think in the U.S., I think the main place is New York. Chicago's also a big place. We work in comedy mainly, and so there's different areas in the U.S. That the comedians, where they kind of hang out, and Chicago's a big one. But New York, I think, is another. I haven't yet. Sometimes our office will go over to like London and the UK and work over in that area. But yeah, those are kind of the main. And then obviously LA is the big one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you left the Sun City, and
yes,
you come back often.
I come back very often. Some of my best friends still live here, my family, and I love coming back because it's a very different pace from LA, and I feel like I can breathe here. And it's really nice coming back each time and seeing how El Paso has grown. I was just saying how I'll come back and my friends and family be like, let's do this, and I have no idea what it is because, it's just growing and changing, which I think is amazing. Yeah.
What do you like about us? Like when you come back, what is your like go-to food? I'm gonna just ask.
Oh my gosh, there is a restaurant. It had actually moved from where it was originally at. There's a restaurant on the west side called Avila's that I would go to since I can remember. It's a Mexican food restaurant. So good. It's on the west side, I think off of Salon Park, and I don't go every time just because like it's a lot, but it's my favorite. And then a lot of my favorite like Italian restaurants have closed, which I'm really sad about. But yeah, I think the Mexican food, yeah,
like Colombian. I love hearing a lot of your stories because I think that you're such an inspiration because you left and you come back so often. And I think that is what the Sun City, loves about people who have grown so much, is that we still remember, where we're from.
Where you're from. And I think, and it's so interesting too, I think I was telling you on Saturday that I'll meet people in LA or in the industry that are from El Paso, and you have this like immediate connection. A lot of times it comes up when they see my number, and they're like, 915, you're from El Paso. And there's more people, not that you would think, but I've met a lot of people that are from El Paso that work in the industry. And it's kind of the same thing. I go, do you go back often? I'm like, yeah, my family still lives there. And yeah, it's really neat. Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years?
2 years. I think I love working in the office that I do, and I'm very fortunate that the casting director I work for is incredible, and she's been doing this a very long time. So I'm in no rush to kind of branch out just yet, because the industry is very quick-paced and fast-paced, and it's always changing. You kind of have to go into a situation and go into projects knowing what you're talking about. And I want to make sure, even if I'm over-prepared and I've overdone that, I know what I'm talking about and have formed my own thoughts. And, because I think people can tell, too, when you're just kind of piggybacking on other people. And so I think in 2 years, I'll probably still be working with her, just because like I said, I'm in no rush, and we work on amazing projects, and she is very good about making sure I'm growing, and the guy I work with, that he's growing, and so probably still be with her.
Learning, growing. Okay, yeah, which is good. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask, within the next 2 months, you'll be back and forth. We'd love to have you more on Topic Tuesday so we can establish more.
Yeah.
I feel like the connection that we have was amazing.
Yes.
And I think it was natural. How was your experience here at the shop?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. So obviously, getting your hair done can be a really amazing thing, but also very scary, because especially, because we had never met before, and I was going purely based off a recommendation and photos I had seen. So when I came in, I felt like I wasn't too nervous, because I had researched and I knew you knew your stuff and what to do. So I was excited, and it turned out even better than I thought. So, and everyone was so sweet, and it was just a great experience. Overall, great experience. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. If you could think of a mantra, we always end Topic Tuesday with like a mantra, something you're living with at this exact moment.
Yeah.
What would it be?
I would say, this sounds so cliche, but definitely live in the moment. I think in the past year, there have been, people that have unexpectedly, left, or, for whatever reason, and at least I didn't realize the moment when it was happening, if that makes sense. So now I just try to make sure that, knowing that life is short, and knowing that you're not always going to be the age you are. Obviously, you grow every day. So I think living in the moment, I try to tell myself that all the time, because life stresses can get in the way of that and all that. And so just to very much, when something good is going on, remember it and soak it in. And know that, if you are in a bad situation, that you're going to get out of it. And,
So I want to share that, on Saturday, I had listened to you ask me, like, well, what are you listening to? What music you're listening to? We're talking about that. And then I was like, well, there's this one album that, I really can't listen to right now because it's just real painful to go through it. Well, then you're like, no, give it another try, hear it again. So I did. So
Yeah.
So after Sunday, I was listening to Reputation, Taylor Swift.
Swift.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I was listening to the whole album, still in my car, still listening to it, and I think that actually kind of helped me live in that moment. And so now, instead of, thank you for that, because it was such a positive experience to hear the whole album and then be in this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So thank you for that.
Happy.
Yes. So thank you. So we're gonna end Topic Tuesday.
Okay.
And we will see you soon.
Sounds good. I'll be back.
Bye.